Hello everybody and welcome to this Broadsword Hangout with Bonnie, Chironix, Misk, Flair, Tia and myself. Bleak will be joining us shortly.
Good evening, everybody.
Hello.
Blake is stuck in traffic. He'll be here soon.
Okay, do we want to start with the questions?
Sure.
Okay. The first question is from Tina Small, and she says, are there any plans to replace the EM program with Global Live Events program so that players can do live events at times that are convenient for their own schedules?
No, there's not. We've had the EM program for 5 years, and I think it's doing it very well. They do it at different times. They do it at the Eastern and Pacific time schedules, so I don't think there's any reason to replace them.
Tia? Tia, we're not hearing you.
I think we have technical difficulties.
Tia's not coming across.
Yeah.
Tia?
Okay, how about now?
That's better.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry about that. My geek broke my mic. Okay, I'm blaming it on you. The next question is also from Tina Small for Greg. Are there any plans to decrease vendor fees? With the declining population, sales of normal basic items, good for new and returning players, are very slow, and I think many people just don't bother to sell them because the aggregate vendor fees soon outstrip the actual price of the items they are trying to sell.
So the answer to this question, in short, is no, there are no plans to decrease them, primarily because, as everybody's aware, we do have a big gold inflation problem, and vendor fees are one of the best ways we have to remove gold from the game. To give you a little anecdotal story, I threw up a vendor on the shard I play on right after vendor search went live. And of course, I went on vendor search, found comparable prices for the items I was trying to sell, and priced slightly lower. And I soon found that the vendor fees were rather expensive and nobody was buying my stuff. So what did I end up having to do was basically lower the price of my stuff. So yes, I took a little bit of a loss on how much profit I would have made, but I also moved my products faster and made a buyer somewhere very happy. So I think that in the end, the economy will balance out based on supply and demand. And if the vendor fees are too high, you might want to consider lowering your prices.
Thank you.
Just in time, Stephen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, we got a question for him. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. This one is from Tina Small. Are there any plans to introduce an in-game messaging system so you can leave messages for offline characters?
Okay. So right now we have pretty much the backbone of that in place. So if we, I guess, get enough demand from the players, we'll investigate fully implementing that type of system.
Cool.
Next question is a long one for Greg, so excuse me if I get my tongue in a twist. Also from Tina, would it be possible to have any 24-hour timers that affect things that your characters can do in-game or that affect things that are maturing, developing in-game, all reset themselves at shard maintenance? It would make it so much easier to keep track of when you can do things, like throwing a lucky coin in the fountain, doing a puzzle board, The escort quests, watering tending plants growing in pots, or chicken lizard eggs, sacrificing fame to increase sacrifice virtue, etc., especially if you have multiple characters doing these things on multiple shards. Also, with the timers the way they are now, if you don't log on at the exact same time every day to do these things, the day you log in late to do them throws you off for the next day, and you just end up not doing them, some things, on some days, so that you can get your character back on a reasonable schedule.
That was a long one.
That's a
So
mouthful.
again, the short answer to that is it's very difficult for us to do that because shard maintenance is not always a guarantee. And what I mean by that is basically sometimes shards crash. So we could look at a host of issues that could be caused by these systems resetting merely when the shard comes back up. And it's an awful lot of code to go and dig through to try and change all the different timing systems from one way that it works now to even potentially, handling shard crashes and things like that. So probably not going to do that anytime soon.
Okay, the next question is also from Tina Small. Is there any possibility that you could adjust the section representatives in the Britain Library so that they will all recognize amounts contributed to the various representatives? It would make it a lot easier to actually obtain items via small regular donations of items obtained through regular gameplay if your donations at the library were aggregated instead of kept separate by section. That one's for Stephen.
So currently, each of those collection systems are balanced versus the turn-in items. So to combine and unite the systems would break the balance, and it's something that we don't plan on doing as of right now.
Thank you.
All right, this question's for Greg. Will the tailor and blacksmith NPCs in Termur ever offer BODs or take bribes?
So we talked about this and we expanded it into kind of a broader discussion that may touch on some of the other questions down the road. To answer the question directly, yeah, that's something that we should probably do. But also, over the past, year to year and a half or so, we've really concentrated on trying to update the combat, the PvE, PvP side of the game without giving much love to the crafting side of the game. So moving forward, that's something we as we discussed, definitely want to try and focus on and give a little love there as well.
Okay, thanks.
The next one is from Viquire. Looking at global loot, VVV, and traders quests, can we talk more about the new website and MyUO? What plans are there to help guilds be promoted through the information made available? What information will actually be available? It's for Bonnie.
Whenever we actually have a new web designer, we're going to get her started very soon, and it is one of our players. Just like I told everybody, we're going to go from our player base. We're going to start. We're going to use our players. We're going to the web designer. We're going to do the player base. We're going to. How can I say this? All of us have talked about the new player experience and starting guilds in the towns. We want to have like a new player guild base on our websites also, so new players that come in or returning players can have a trusted guild that they can go to and join. So I want those listed on our websites. As soon as it comes up and we get it built, I think you guys will be able to. I want to list all the guilds that are trustworthy. The players are going to be able to rate them and get feedback on the guilds themselves. So we'll see. I don't know if that's a good enough answer for this, but it's going to be I think it's going to work really well for everybody, for all the guilds, and for all the the website itself. It's going to be awesome when we get through with it.
Okay, Bonnie, the next question's for you as well. It's from Viquire and Lug. The last we heard about high-res art was that the system had been greatly streamlined. How is that going? When might we be planning to see some of the results?
We're kind of calling it enhanced art right now. We are hiring one of our players to come in, and we have to QA it still. There are so many pieces that has to go one by one, and we have to QA it, and then we have to go piece by piece to make sure that it fits together. We can't put any of it out, especially our housing tiles, because we have to make sure they all fit together. So until we get it all QA'd and everything, we can't put anything out. We are working on it. It's not a lost cause, but it's just going to take some time for us to do it. But I have contacted, or I have a name to contact another one of the players to come into the office for a month and to help us with QAing some of the art.
Cool, that sounds great. Thank you.
This question is for Bonnie again. Woohoo! Sorry. Yes, this is also from Require and Glenny Glenn. The game has touched on a lot of player systems over the last year, spells, armor, loot. Can you say anything specific at this point about pets and tamer revamp? A new gump that shows all the skills would be greatly appreciated.
We are going to do a pet revamp, and when we do that, we will look at doing a new skill for this, also a new skill gump. So that's definitely doable.
Sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome.
This one is for Greg, also from Require. Having taken a close look at armour and weapons, is there any interest on the team's part to look at the crafting reward system that are currently in place? Recipes, as they exist, don't make much sense. Heartwood, well, I think I'm not alone in wanting something more like the Tailor-Smith system for other crafting. Can you tell us if this is too big a monster to be looking at right now?
So I touched on this briefly in the previous crafting-related question, and like I said before, yeah, definitely. We certainly have an entire second half of what traditionally people do within the game that we need to take a good hard look at and see where improvements can be made, updates can be made, where things can be streamlined and make the overall experience much better. As we get closer to that, we'll certainly reach out to the community for suggestions and everybody that wants to help us out with that. So yeah, definitely something we're going to be having a conversation about in the future.
Okay, the next question is also from Viquire and is for Greg. Are there any plans to revisit some of the elements of high seas and a theme pack that seem wonky or incomplete?
Yes, we definitely want to streamline a lot of the various features with high seas, primarily cannon crafting. I had a conversation with a player not long ago and posed them the question, what one thing would make the entire ship combat experience more enjoyable? And got a lot of great feedback from that. If anybody else wants to send us feedback, we are hungry for feedback, and we read it all, good and bad. So feel free to let us know. But updates rather to high seas are definitely on our radar.
Great, thank you.
Okay, the next question is for Greg too, also from Require. Is the team still taking submissions for additions to Blackthorn's artifacts into account? Are there some specialized event items that have been specifically ruled out for addition?
So yeah, if you've got, I think there's a thread floating around on Stratics right now about Blackthorn artifact additions. If there's something you'd like to see on there, sure, we'll be at some point in the future, we're going to make an update to there, so we'll go through there and call all the different suggestions. As far as event items, probably not. Really depends. I'm not sure specifically what event items they're talking about, but we have a very storied history with event items, and some of them I think may be left as they are. But again, if there's specific suggestions, feel free to let us know, and we'll discuss it and see what we can do.
Cool, thanks.
And still with Greg, and still with VQuire, will we ever be able to do something with minor artifacts besides turn them in?
So this was another one that we were kind of a little confused as to the main point. Basically, yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with minor artifacts. You can use them, you can go fight with them. You can also break them down into their component imbuing ingredients if you'd like, or, base crafting ingredients or whatever. If there was, again, something more specific that you wanted to be able to do with minor artifacts, feel free to, reach out to us and let us know specifically what you were trying to get out of this question, and, we'll take a look.
Okay, the next question is from Yo Houses, and it's for Bonnie. Can we have the account transfer back?
You can transfer your accounts yourselves. So the official one, no. But you can do it yourselves. All you have to do is email into support@uo.com and give the correct information, and they'll help you transfer the account to the person that you want to transfer to. So getting it back, it's never really left. So I'm not really sure. You paying $30? There's no charge. You can transfer your account without paying $30.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this question is for Bonnie from UO Houses. I use a lot of transfer tokens, and every time my toon arrives, he's in the middle of nowhere, and I always have to use the help menu option that says my character is physically stuck. Can you guys make all transferred toons arrive to Luna, or can you add Luna as an option to the choice menu?
No, we're not going to make all transfer toons go to Luna. Not sure why or what he's doing, that he's in the middle of nowhere, but we would really like to know where, or take a screenshot and find out why he's in the middle of nowhere, or give us a coordinates or something, because something's not right. He should be in a town, not in the middle of nowhere. He should be in a specific town by an inn somewhere. So I'd really like to know where he's ended up, or what he's doing to end up in the middle of nowhere, to be honest with you. So please email me and let me know where in the middle of nowhere is. I'd be really interested in that one. But no, we're not going to add Luna.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Finally, one for Michael. It's nice.
Yay!
From UO Houses and Asmodam. I hope you'll forgive me for not being able to say that one. Can you please make powder of fortification either stackable or combinable?
Yes, the short answer to that is yes. Just like we've recently made it so that you can combine pigments of Takuno, recently runic tools, that is definitely something that we can do. And hopefully we'll get it done soon.
The next question's from Vexed, and it's also from Michael. Would you please explain how reforging works with the same level of detail that we have for imbuing? I mean, telling us the property weights when reforging and the various budgets that all the different kinds of runics have. Don't forget explaining how things like choosing a powerful reforge affects stuff. Numbers, please.
A lot of that information is available in the help menu for the runic reforging. We can try to give you more information on on actual numbers, like specific weight increases and intensity increases, that's something we can try to provide.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this question is for Bonnie from Medina DF. Will the former EA ask and answer communication between players and devs return someday with Broadsword?
Okay, the reason why it stopped is because it got to the point where we weren't getting questions, we were just getting suggestions. So we started the in-game every 2 weeks doing the face-to-face live questions instead of getting the 5 questions every week that turned into not questions anymore. So we're answering many questions every 2 weeks on each shard instead of answering questions that turned out not to be questions and we have to make up questions. So which way do you think is better? I mean, I ask you guys, do you want us to stop doing the shards and do questions? Or do you want us to continue doing the shards and do questions from you guys that eventually turn into the same questions or just turn into suggestions? I leave it up to you guys.
That's tough.
The next one is also from Medea and for Bonnie. Can the former EA official fan sites keep their status under Broadsword's banner?
They will. Yes.
Okay, the next question is also from Medea DF and for Bonnie. Can you please restore the normal surroundings at the Humility Moon Gate, Ilshanar? The area around the Anka was blocked back in the day when the fight with Dragonbane happened, but it's really cumbersome for resing and also reaching the champion spawn around the corner.
Okay, that's already fixed. Chronix did that already, so it's already done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, this question's for Greg from Medina DF. Can you please restore the functionality of gates teleporters from EM events? Example, we Drachenfels have an EM gate to the beach where Seduvia lives, but we cannot use it any longer because it's broken.
This is something that, as far as specific to the gate for where Sudiva lives on the beach, after we moved her out of Covetous, I think she was, when we moved her to the beach, some shards have the gate and some don't, so to get a gate on every shard to make sure you can get to that beach, something that we would world build in, so we can definitely do that. As far as like other specific teleporters and gates, those types of things are specifically limited because we've run into situations in the past where some old event gate from 10, 12 years ago on one shard basically breaks an entire piece of content. So, we don't want to do that. So, those things are specifically limited.
I would also like to state that EM gates and stuff are not meant to stay forever. It's only for certain events. So we need to den fix stuff in for it to be permanent.
All right, thanks.
Next one is for Michael from Nick Smivin. I tried to dye Melissa's cloak using pigments of Takuno, silver, but it did not work. I expected the cloak to be an artifact and thus be dyeable. Which are the criteria? What is dyeable and what is not?
So that is a bug that Melissa's cloak can't be dyed using pigments. Essentially, the development team flags items as dyeable with pigments, and apparently when that was first introduced, that was erroneously left off the list. So I will be submitting a bug on that tomorrow.
Okay, the next question is also from Nick Niven, and it's for Greg. what is the exact rate the points of the zoo in Moonglow decay at? It seems to vary, but it's hard to tell since we can't be sure how many points were donated.
So this is something that I think I was supposed to look up this afternoon, but we have been furiously busy trying to put the final touches on everything related to Pub 86, and I did not look up that exact number, but I will look it up and get back to you. So I'll find an answer for it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, this question is for Bonnie from Ithelden. It is planned to make the ship cannons remaining the color of materials used, or is there going to be a series of maybe Pirate Sailor related quests, each rewarding a recipe for crafting a cannon of a particular material, like a recipe to craft a light ship cannons with bronze ingots, or a recipe to craft heavy ship cannons with golden ingots?
No, we're just going to make it simple and make them to where you can dye them with metal dye tubs.
Neon cannons. Interesting
Fair
thought.
enough.
Metal dye tubs. If I see a neon cannon, I'm going to come after you.
Oh, come on! I've been so good. I've been practicing all day.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm done.
The next question is from Tazar. Personally, I think Stygian Abyss was a great expansion. However, I have noticed that the addition of the Underworld only included level 1 of the dungeon, and that there are areas that appear to be possible access points to deeper levels. Will we ever see additional levels to the Underworld in UO?
Who is that question for?
Just for Bonnie. Bonnie said she'd answer that one.
Oh, well, who asked that horrible question?
Tazar.
Bizarre did it. You want to yell at him? I'll get him
No,
for
it's
you.
okay. I was kidding. There's a lot of area for expansion down there, and of course, there's always room for. It leaves a lot of room for possibilities for us to grow. This is true. So we have a lot of creativity in our team. So yes, there's definitely room for us to be very creative down there. That's all I can say. You never know.
Okay, the next question's from Hawkwin Navari, and it's also for Bonnie. I would like to know if any progress has been made on Masana's promise to increase the character limit for character names. If so, when can we expect it? And if not, when will it get attention?
I don't. Right now, we are knee deep in this publish. I don't have any I don't have any word on it. I don't have anything right now. We just need to get this published out the door. Whenever I'll let you know when this one's done.
Okay, great.
Okay, this question's from Michael.
Yes.
From Gidge. Can we please have the login screen window kept current with what gets posted on Stratics and UO, perhaps with just links, even so it encourages people to know things that are happening to their world?
As most of the players are probably aware, we recently made changes to the patcher that does include information from UO.com as well as include links to various hyperlinks on the site. So we can thank Bleak and the engineering team for putting that into the game.
Woohoo! Yay, go Bleak!
Still with Michael and still with Gage. Do you see the banners that are posted on gaming forums? Can Broadsword do something similar? A simple banner program to bring back some life? Oh, that's on the site, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
Down to the new web
more
designer.
mine. That's a possibility with the marketing, with our new site. You know, our president is always up for doing things and promoting our games, so anything's possible. So all we have to do is ask.
Okay, the next question's also from Gidge for Bonnie. Can you give us a genuine update on decision of the account management website will ever be updated or rebuilt?
Yes, I
I see
can give you a decision on that. And it's going to be done, believe it or not. We are going to rebuild it because we own it now. We want to unify it into like one section and simplify it. What we're doing right now in the meantime is making, as we've already started, YouTube videos breaking down each step of how to change out your credit card to make it easier for players to do that, how to change out your passwords and how to get through that, because honestly it's a nightmare and we know it's a nightmare. So yes, we have one person that's in charge of it, and as soon as we can get through some of these other things that is on his list, he is going to be redoing all of the account management pages and redoing it and simplifying it. Thank goodness.
Great, that's wonderful.
I know.
That's going to help a lot.
We're all going to throw a big party for him whenever it's done, trust me.
Okay. Still with Bonnie and still with Gidge. This is more of a comment. As much as I appreciate Stratics being the official form of UO, if that statement is true, can the UO website itself has some directives in helping new players and returning players find their way?
I think the new website's going to help a lot with the. What I want to do is have like a wiki and the player guide to where players can update it to kind of build like a player guide on the website itself. So that's going to be something new on UO.com. I think it'd be kind of cool for the players to take ownership of the game also, to keep it updated so the players can go there. So I think that'd be kind of cool for us to do. So I think it'd be good for that too.
That's cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, last one from Gage. Can it be fixed so the hooded robes do not have gaping holes in the graphics when riding southeast and some of the other directions? It's really noticeable when the robe is dyed black and you're wearing nothing underneath. Ooh. That one's for Michael, I think.
Well, actually, before Michael takes it, Kronix actually put on a robe today and rode around naked. Got naked. He was flat out naked, and put on a dark robe, hooded robe, and he didn't see any naked body parts. So we would love to see some screenshots. And we would love to know exactly what client, if he was using Pinkos. So we need a little bit more details. So if this person that wrote this would send us some screenshots and some more details in an email, we would really appreciate it. Please.
Okay, the next question is from Drake Arnhart. You're talking about translating the website to Korean, German, and Chinese. That works well to attract the attention and the players from Asia. But what about languages such as Spanish, second or third, most spoken language in the world? Would you get clients and players not just from Spain, but from most all South America? Wouldn't that be viable also? Ideally, having the game fully translated would be the best thing, but I know that's a very big task to have to translate it all. And that one's for Bonnie.
You know what? If we're going to translate the website and all those, adding Spanish is just, why not? Adding it to the game, it's probably not going to happen. But the website, sure, I can add Spanish. That's not going to be that much more. So I'll add that to our list also.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
This question is for Greg from Drake Ironheart. Will there be a future improvement to the BOD system in the way small BODs can automatically link to large BODs if present in the book? I mean, if you put the BOD in a book and there's a matching bigger BOD that requires the small one to be filled, they get linked in some way. Having the large BOD display something like the small BOD found and unfilled, this would help a lot when coming to store them at home, as they would take up a lot less space.
So, like I mentioned earlier, the crafting side of the game is certainly something that is a good place for us to focus some attention, given how much combat and related systems have gotten attention in the recent past. There's certainly been a lot of discussion that I've read about the storage of BODs. I know everybody's got tons of BODs, and it's eating up all of their precious house storage. So when we go and look at crafting, certainly BODs, given how pervasive they are into crafting in general, is something we take a look at as well. I know there's also been questions about the functionality for BOD books and sorting and things like that. So that's all something we would take a look at then.
Cool. Thanks.
Next one is from Jonathan Billington. He says, hi, why does the enhanced client negate 100 points of stealth? If this is unclear why, I'll explain. In the EC, possibly only with Pinkos, a player can see when another player has a stealth check. No, it doesn't. That means every time I have a stealth check, another person will see that shadow jump grey pop. Also referring to shadow jump, instead of it showing the entry point, i.e. where a person jumped from, as it does in the classic client, the EC shows where a person jumps to. This is even this latter issue isn't so bad, but every stealth check shows me just trying to get away from anyone who has any skill as a mage or carries conflagration potions under these conditions. That's for Michael, but it's not wrong.
You aren't seeing that?
No.
I'm fairly certain that that's a bug in the system already. Hopefully, I can go check. I can check that tomorrow, and reconfirm it. And if I can confirm it, we'll get it fixed soon.
You're talking about the poop, right?
Yes. Little poof sign or effect.
Yeah.
Okay, the next question is from NetTangler, and it's for Stephen. When will we be able to use all sides of the houses? Make it more 3D. There seems to be a lot of wasted space.
Well, I guess the short answer for that is no. We don't have any plans. We are not, I guess, trying to change the view of the game. The road for that passed with the old beauty. Right now, we're focused on improving the enhanced client and keeping the classic client.
Did we just lose him?
I think so.
Did you listen?
Yeah, you're really lagging out or something.
Oh. How much did you get?
Start from the top.
Not from the start.
The short answer is no. After
that-
that, it kind of went out.
After that, it went out. Okay. Okay. Right now we're pretty much focused on improving the enhanced client and keeping the classic client. We don't really have any plans to change the view of the game. That road pretty much passed with the old 3D client. So.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I feel like I'm in a B. Old B. Never mind. Ninja movie. Go ahead.
Are we ready? This question is for Greg from Agent Orange. Will you please reinstate the Nexus Deed puzzles back? Because the Exodus quest no one does anymore. The puzzle from Nexus was fun to do and get the deed. Thank you.
In the past, we've talked about some stuff related to the Exodus encounter as a whole, basically making it a little bit more user-friendly as far as getting the various keys. So, this could be a very good way to get keys if somebody really likes to do the puzzles. So, I mean, the code is still there. We always say to each other, we've got a lot of either unused or dead event code that's just kind of hanging out. So there's no reason why we can't put it back in. So if people enjoy it, so sure, absolutely.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. Next one is for Greg again, from James Host. Are you going to put in the quests for humility and spirituality, and an alternative for justice that does not involve trying to kill people or are awfully good at killing other people?
This was a very good question. As far as the change to justice, I don't know. I mean, unfortunately, it always turns out, or it seems at least, that the bad guys are really good at being bad. So that just means the good guys have to get better at being good, I guess. I don't know. But as far as spirituality and humility, we've kicked around some ideas. Definitely want to finish that virtue system. I mean, it's been unfinished for a very long time, and given how fundamental the virtues are to Ultima, that just seems like a terrible atrocity. So we've kicked around some ideas. Nothing is really super stuck yet. If anybody else has some suggestions, of course, we're always willing to listen to feedback, but certainly something we do want to get to.
We'd like to finish it before 20 years.
Okay, the next question is from Michael Taylor. When can we expect to be up on Steam? You guys made a big deal about voting to pass it on. Green light. We did, and now nothing from you guys about a status update. Why have us vote, then do nothing? And that one's for Bonnie.
Yeah, this is not something we want to just jump into and we want to make sure that everything is planned out and done correctly. So it's not something we're going to jump onto and do without all of our ducks in a row. So we're making sure that everything is done correctly and everything is planned out just like it should be, instead of just haphazardly jumping into something. So it's everything was, the first door was open. Now we have to, do everything, like it should be done. It just takes time to do things like it should be done. That's all.
It does. I agree.
Okay, the next question is from Goodman for Bonnie. With our current inflation of gold, are there still plans to make gold account-wide instead of $1 million checks?
Oh God, yes. I so want to do the gold conversion. I really want to get it on the accounts and get gold checks out of the game. That's one of my biggest goals. It's just when we get there, But yes, it is still one of my biggest things to do. What is that face for?
There's an object to my right causing problems.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one is... we've got no name by it. With the resources Broadsword brings, has the team ever looked into what some free shards are doing with them for ideas? Some free shards have some very nice concept and is on a par with what the community will want to see. This is from a couple of guys there in the basement, so imagine what Broadsword could do.
Oh, I'll take that one. Yeah, those guys in the basement and what they can do, they're using everything that we've done. So, of course, they're able to do so much more because they're stealing all of the work that we've done. So, there you go.
Good answer. Okay, the next one's from Goodman. It's for Stephen. Any plans on increasing the skill cap from 720?
Currently, we do not have any plans to increase the skill cap from 720, but we also have doing, I guess, particular skill masteries on the table. So increasing skill level, no, but adding masteries that are kind of similar to how Bard masteries were done is on the table.
Great, thank you.
This question's for Stephen from Byron Fort. Will the day come when we can copy books to the computer's clipboard? Will the day come when we expand the length of the in-client clipboard? I would have loved to have saved the text from some books, in-game event reports from my neighbor's house before it fell, but being tasked with typing every letter out of a stack of 50-plus books proved to be too time-consuming to be accomplished within the limited time I have to log in these days.
So I guess books and UO have been a struggle for both of the clients currently. We do have plans to give the books another pass. I've been bouncing around a couple ideas. So they're not coming in the current UI update, but they are planned to come soon. So
Steven, do this.
yeah,
You're really lagging. Just do this.
I'm lagging. Really?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
You started out really good, though.
Okay. Next one is one for Bonnie. It says, return to Britannia. Are there any plans to market it? And how long will it be this time? A week or a month?
No, it's going to be a month. And yes, we are going to market it. We're going to be sending out a huge email bomb. We're going to have a little commercial that we're going to make. I can't say it's going to be professional, but we're going to have fun with it. And we're going to do what we can. But yeah, we're going to do a professional email bomb and send out everybody for the last 3 years that's ever been in UL. And you're going to have to opt in and out if you want to have our emails to find out what's going on with UL. So yeah, we're going to get in touch with everybody and all our old friends.
Okay, it looks like the next question's from Robert Roper, and it's for Michael. I want to know if you could make a book that would hold power scrolls. Please. Please.
Yes. Yeah, that's something that we have on our list of stuff to do. We've got the Alacrity scrolls, we've got the SOT scrolls, and the next step is the power scrolls.
Awesome. Flair.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. This is the last question on the list. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's for Bonnie from Tim Carey. Will we ever be able to customize our castle like regular houses?
Okay. We've answered this several times, so we probably need to make the questions a little bit easier, or publicize our website, our Facebook website a little bit better, so everybody can get our answers from our in-game meet and greets. But no, you're never going to be able to customize a castle. But what we have talked about several times is maybe coming up with a new design for a castle, a new player. You guys come up with new designs. Maybe let you guys come up with some new designs that you guys come up with a design yourself. Maybe some kind of contest You guys designed the contest for prefab houses. Instead of us coming up with it, you guys tell us what you want. That's the best way that we can give you is you tell us what kind of house you want. The square footage is going to have to stay the same. You can't go bigger than a castle. We're not going to give you anything bigger than that. So that's the best we can do is let you come up with your own prefab. We are willing to do something like that, but we cannot let you customize a castle. No.
Okay. I have one other strange question, and I was put up for this before you answer it. Tamer Girl wants to know when we can have a hot air balloon.
I'm going to kill you. You know you're going to die in game whenever I see you.
That's an
Yes,
excellent.
ma'am. Oh, Greg, that question was for Greg. I know he wants to answer it. He's been dying to. Yep, I'm dead. I'm sorry. I love you.
You're so dead meat.
I know, but it was good.
Dead meat. I'm telling you.
All right, I'm done. Go ahead, Petra.
The questions are all finished, so if everybody has anything to say, just speak up and say it now.
I'm done. I can't talk no more.
I don't know about the rest of the team, but I'd like to thank everybody. We appreciate all the questions. We thank everybody for coming tonight and being with us, and we appreciate all the feedback that you give us. You know our email addresses. I'm sure you know them. And we appreciate the 17 years that you've dedicated to UO. And I hope for a lot more. Thank you.
Good.
Come play with us on TC1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come test with us. A lot of fun.
Okay. And that's it then for tonight. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
everybody.
All right. Thank you.